Really excited today. That's good. Okay, 5-6 notes. We will not take a paired. We will not take a CYP on 4-7.
What? I like those. Whatever.
We won't take a CYP. It's just hard to
I get it.
make one with the information that was given to me.
Oh, you should actually do that.
Okay, 5-6 notes of paired tech. We're going to graph inequalities with two variables. Okay, have we done something similar to this? Yeah, that's all we've been doing here, guys. Been graphing lines for the last couple of weeks. Okay, the difference here is instead of having an equal sign, what's it going to have? It's going to have an inequality. Okay, we're still going to write it in what form? So finish that. Instead of having an equal sign, we're going to have an inequality. And now, the other thing about inequalities is you could have two different types of lines. Okay, you could either have a dashed line or you could have a solid line. Right? A solid line basically means we're going to include values that are on the line. If we have a dashed or dotted line, we don't include values that are on the line. Okay? We'll kind of get into it more as we go. Everybody have this? Okay. Okay, now, graphing linear equalities. Step one, we graph the boundary. That's the actual line that we're going to graph. Okay? It can either be solid line where the inequalities contain what symbol? Less than or equal to, or greater than and equal to. It'll be just like we would for a solid dot on these type of symbols. Okay. Here we're going to use a solid line. Okay, we're going to use a dash line where it involves that. Okay, now, step two, normally we use a test point to determine which half plane should be shaded. The test point that we always use, write this down, is 0, 0, so origin. Now, I'm going to show you a quicker way. We're going to have to plug those numbers into the equation. Okay? And in step 3, we're going to shade the half plane that contains the solution. All right. Write this down real quick underneath this. If we're writing everything in slope intercept, right? Okay. So if it opens up to the y, I shade above. We either talk about above the line or below the line. Okay. It's no left or right. It's either above or below. Everybody clear on that? Okay, if it closes, if it points to the y, we shade below. Okay, we shade below, that includes all the y values that are less than whatever's on the right side. Everybody with me? Real simple. That way it gets me away from having to plug 0 in for x, 0 in for y, and solving. If it's true, then I shade above, all that. Okay? Just a simpler way to do it. Same thing true with that symbol. Yeah. Is the same thing true with that one? Yes. Okay? Alright, so let's look at one. Let's see one real quick. We're going to graph 2y minus 4x is greater than 6. Now, what was the number one rule that we have to remember on this when you're dealing with inequalities? Yeah. If I, write this down because this is a rule you need to remember. If I divide or multiply by a negative number, my symbol what? Good. My symbol flips. Flips, reverses, switches, whatever you want to use. Okay? I'm going to solve this in terms of y. Basically, that means what? I'm going to get it in. Now, I'm going to use an equal sign for our purposes here, but you guys just understand that it's an inequality, right? Okay, so if I got 2y, I got to get what by itself? What can I move? If that move it over there, that gives me, notice I put it in front of what? 6, right? Make sure you always write it first. Then I divide by, now is that a negative number? Okay, so the sign is going to stay the same. Y is greater than 2x plus 3. Pretty simple, yeah. So let's graph it then. One thing that you need to do first is identify. Okay, is it a dashed or a solid line? Dashed. I'm going to come over here to my next slide. Where do I start, guys? That's my slope, right? And this is my B, right? I'm going to start at my y-intercept, which is up. I'm trying to do the best I can here. I'm going to put some other points in there. Okay, so you guys said a dash line?
Yes.
Make sure that you go all the way out to the edge. Okay? Is the symbol, the inequality symbol, is it opening to the y? Okay, then we shade above. Above is going to be all this space over here. Okay? Then I include dots that are on the line as solutions to this equation. Now, there's the whole reason with the dotted line. You guys with me? Here's the way it works. Watch this real close. If I pick a point, let's just say I'm gonna do a fairly easy one. Let's go -3 and 3. Is that on the shaded side or is it away from the shaded side? So that point, and every point that's on the shaded side, wherever I put a point, should do what? Should work in the equation, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 3 and, or it's -3 and 3, right? So I can take 3, 2 times -3, and basically I'm just plugging the points in for y and x. So it's 3 greater than -3. So it is a true statement. Well, what happens when I take a point that's on the line? Like, let's say -1 and 1. Is that going to work? So we can't include dots that are on the line, can we? Okay, 1 is not greater than 1. If it were equal, then I could say that's a true statement. But the line would have to be what? Solid, right? Okay. What about a point over here? Will that work? Huh?
No.
because it's not in the shaded area, is it? Okay? So in theory, any point that's in the shaded area should be a true statement, okay? And here in a little bit, I'll show you how we apply that and how we're gonna apply it on the Y test, okay? So we just did that, right? Okay, so look at this one, graph an inequality that has greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Now, do anything different? Don't know. Do I do anything different? No. Like that, put it over there. That gives me negative 1x plus 2 divided by 4. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1/4 x plus a half.
I have a question. Would you multiply by the reciprocal to get like one of the first like 1 over
No.
4?
Nah, you can't. Because that would put something back over on the other side with y, wouldn't it?
I did something on the.
Okay. I'll show you how to I'll show you how to graph it though.
Yeah.
This gets a little tricky because where your starting point is and how you count your slope. So you guys watch this, pay attention. My b is a half, so I'm going to start right there in the middle, right? Now what's my line going to be doing? What's my slope? Slope is negative, so it's going to be falling, right? Okay, so my rise. Now, would I go to 0 here, or would I go halfway between? I go halfway down, don't I? I go past 0, go halfway, and then count how many. 4, so halfway there, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where my point should be. You gotta count the squares, right? Gotta be a full unit, can't be just half the unit. Everybody clear on that? If that top number, if this top number were a half, then I could just go to 0, right? Okay, solid line. Do I shade above or below? The opening to the Y? Okay, so I'm gonna shade everything above. And I've got some colored pencils if you guys want to use colored pencils to shade. There's a big old box of them somewhere around here. You want to use a highlighter to shade? You can use a highlighter, it just kind of bleeds through the paper a little bit. May not want to use that, okay? But some people have done that in the past. Any questions about that? Pretty simple, yeah? Okay, there's a CYP problem right there that you may want to write down. Notice what form have I started with? Started in standard form, right? Now, that's important to know, and I'll explain why here in a second when we get to a word problem, which is example 4. This is how this is going to be, how you're going to see it on the test. How you're going to have to apply it. Anybody have that one written down? There's the other one. There's another one right there. Okay. Real world example 4, right? Solving inequality. Okay, so Brandon writes and edits short articles for our local newspaper. How many things does he do? Does 2, doesn't he? He writes, which will make X, and he does what? He edits, will make that Y. Everybody with me? Okay, so short articles for a local newspaper, it takes him about an hour to write. So what would go in front of the X? 1, right? So I'm going to go 1X. 1 represents an hour. write an article, and about half an hour to edit. So plus half times y. If he works up to 8,
So less than or equal to 8.
yeah, can I go over 8? Okay, so the left side is going to be what?
Less than or equal to 8.
So we need to know how many articles he can write and edit in one day's worth of work. Okay, and remember, he's only working 8 hours, 8-hour work day. He's not going to work any longer than that. Okay, so now, basically, I have to get that in what form? Okay, so what moves first? Right over there, which gives me 1/2 y less than or equal to negative 1x plus 8. Then here I multiply by what? Or just what? 2? Now, am I multiplying by a positive number or a negative number? So my sign stays the same, doesn't it? Go ahead and get it out of the way. Multiply that side by 2, which turns into distribution, negative 2x plus what? 16. Okay, so let's graph it. Which coordinate, which plane, or which, I lost my train of thought. Which, is it? No, it's, what is it called when you label them like that? You got one quadrant, yeah, that's quadrant 1, right? Okay, we use quadrant 1 because it's, x's are positive and my y's are what? Positive. Positive, positive. Is it possible to work negative out? Nope. Okay. So on the y-axis, what did we say y was going to be? No. X was what? Writing. Okay, so writing goes down here. Write that down here. Put writing there. What goes on the y-axis? Editing. Okay, let's go by, probably need to go by 2, don't we? Just so I can get to what? And I can go by 2 because my slope is negative 2 over 1. So that'll allow me to count 1 square as 2, right? You see what I'm getting at? Okay, so this first one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And then down at the bottom, it needs to be what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay. Here's how you do this. This is the type of questions that they're going to ask you. Where's my y-intercept? 16, right? What's my line going to do? Fall or rise? Gonna fall, right? So it goes 2 down, and then 1. We're going to go in between, don't it? Okay, 2 down, 1. 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 Guys, I mean, solid line. Shade below or above? Okay, now, here's not a shade. You guys watch this. I'm not gonna go past. Okay? I'm just gonna shade all this area that's in here. Notice I don't need to go past because, you know, I work negative hours. Okay. So now, here's the question that they're gonna ask you. If he does both of these, what can he do? Can he write 10 hours and edit 8 hours? Can he do that? Tell me why. This doesn't lie in the shaded area, does it? So it's not possible for him to do that. Can he work 4 hours writing and 4 hours editing? That point lies in the shaded region, doesn't it? Can he write 6 hours and edit 4 hours? You see what I'm getting at? Can he write 10 hours and edit 2 hours?
No.
See what I'm saying? So my point has to lie in the shaded area. Okay? Okay, there's the CYP that you're going to have tomorrow. So how many sandwiches do you have? How many sandwiches do you have? 2. What, chicken would be what? And that 10 would be, if I have 30 to spend, that means I can't go over 30, right? Okay, go back. Find your mastery box. Rate yourself. And then find your vertex. Okay, anytime you see linear equation in one variable that you have on number 1, what kind of line is that going to make? You know what? Horizontal or vertical, right? Now, since it says y, that means all my what? All my y's have to be forward, right? Okay, so is that horizontal or vertical? It's going to be horizontal. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solid or dash line? Dash line going across. Do I shade below or above? Below. Good. Okay, what do I got to do on number 2? Turn it into. Alright, goes over there. And now what? Okay, what happens to my inequality?
It flips.
So I'm going to go ahead and take care of it right now. start down here, -2. Up to, right 3. Solid or dash line? Above or below? What? Above.
Wait,
It opens up to the line. Now, I should say this. Guys, listen to me. I can only follow that rule if the Y is where? On the left side. Gotta be on the left side, right? So as long as the Y is on the left side, I can follow this rule. Everything's done for me, I don't have to move anything. Okay, so start where? On the Y-axis, and then go down 1, right 2. What if I did this? What if I changed it to put the negative on the bottom? Could I do that? Sometimes this will happen to you. You'll run out of coordinate plane. So instead of going down, I would go where? Up 1 and then left 2. Dotted or solid line?
Dotted.
Above or below? How many variables? How many variables do I have here? So it's going to be either a vertical line or a horizontal line. In this case, it's a. Put that over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dash line. Okay, now, there is no above or below, is there? Okay, so where would I go here? Well, it either be left or right. What is it? Right. X has to be greater than what? 4. So the only side of this line that includes those has got to be what? The right side. Okay? What do you think? You guys got it? They got about, what, 11 minutes to get the rest of that done?